Welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. I'm here with Kara Grace Miller to talk to her about her film, My Neighbor's Yard. Let's take a look at a clip.
I started putting signs in my yard in 2016.
Good neighbors don't have to think alike.
You can't throw anybody off a sphere.
This year, we kind of went all out.
Kara, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh, it's great to have you here. So tell us, what was the inspiration behind this film about your neighbor's yard?
Yeah, absolutely. So Harrisburg, Pennsylvania is my hometown. Everyone that you see in the documentary lives within 10 minutes of each other and within 10 minutes of my parents' house. Mm-hmm. So some of those signs and some of those people I've been driving past for a very long time. In 2024, I had been doing a lot of voter testimonial work as a producer. So I'd been going all over the country talking to voters about why they were voting the way they were, the issues they were voting on. And I became very obsessed with the amount of yard signs I saw in all the different states. But after seeing so many different states, still nothing was quite as loud and like quite as saturated as central Pennsylvania. So when I was done in early October with the voter testimonials, I borrowed a camera, went to my parents' house, and found my own way in to documenting the election through the signs.
So did you know some of these subjects or people in the film before you started shooting?
I knew a few of them personally beforehand, but my main subject in the documentary, that's an elderly couple, their names are Ed and Karen Snell, they have been putting out a very large sign display since I was a very small child.
Wow.
So I remember their signs growing up, and it almost, as I go home to my parents' house, I'm excited to see what they have up each time. But this was the first time I decided to go knock on their door and ask them why. And I'm very glad I did.
And how many people did you knock on doors? How many doors did you knock on? And then how many people made the cut into the film?
I knocked on a lot of doors. I waved to a lot of Ring cameras and gave a little spiel on a Ring camera because not everyone opens their door.
Right.
I'd leave little postcards with what I was doing. And what I will say is everyone was kind to me, but a lot of people kindly declined.
Gotcha.
So you see mostly everybody I interviewed in the documentary, minus maybe one or two people.
Right.
And so yeah, overall, I think I talked to maybe like 8 to 10 people in the end, actually on camera. But even the people who said no had a lot to tell me off camera as well.
Okay.
So I learned a lot about my neighborhood.
Right. And so what did you learn in terms about the convictions these people held and what the signs represented for them?
I confirmed that everyone's trying to have the same influence in the place that they live. You know, the documentary is nonpartisan. It doesn't really take a side in terms of how the election goes or doesn't go, because it's not quite about the election.
Absolutely.
I think it's more about portrait of neighbors who are all trying to communicate to the people around them, and this is like the behavior they're choosing to do it with. And they all really believe in what they're doing to a similar amount. And so for me, the biggest lesson was that we're so polarized online that we can write people off a lot easier there. And when you're actually there talking with somebody and you see how much they believe in what they believe, and they're able to give you a reason why past the 140 characters and hit send, you can find a lot more common ground with people than you think.
Right, which is interesting. It's revealed in your film.
Yeah.
It's revealed in your film. So in terms of people wanting to get their point across, did you witness any kind of efficacy or any kind of influence that these signs had to convince another of another point of view?
I mean, you could argue that my main subjects' signs have had an influence on me. So the main subjects, their main cause is pro-life. And that's usually what their signs center around. And then when an election comes, the signs endorse the politicians that are pro-life. but they absolutely taught me what pro-life was. When I was a child, I didn't know what an abortion was until I passed by their house and I saw all of these signs about it. Somewhat explicit photos sometimes, which you can see in the doc. And, you know, that's a main road. They're not lying when they say 25,000 cars go by there every day. And it goes straight to the Capitol building where all of the government workers work. So in terms of this election, I have no idea if these signs influenced how the voting in the area went. But in terms of who they are to our area, absolutely they have an influence.
And were there people you got to know better when you were shooting the film than just their signs?
Yes. Yes. I mean, I would say that I was practicing talking with people that I didn't think I would agree with on everything across the board. I talked to people who come from all different thought processes, all different levels of involvement and engagement with politics, someone putting out one sign versus someone decking out their whole house. And I think to my surprise, but also to my delight, I was able to find at least one thing to agree on with everybody. Yeah.
And did you find that with everybody that you talked to, did they have kind of a common ground?
The common ground is that they care very much in which direction the country goes. They just really differed in which way they wanted
That
it
it
to
should
go.
go, right.
But, you know, I think especially there's an age gap between me and a lot of people in the documentary. And I think that sometimes when I'm only surrounding myself with people my age, it can be easier to slip into apathy. There's maybe more of a feeling of resistance and being let down by the electoral process. And something I found very strongly within everybody that I interviewed was this sense of perseverance and care about what was going on. And this belief that we still have a say in it and a way to move forward in it.
Cool, that's good to hear. And they felt they're participating, as you said, in this process to achieve that.
Yeah.
You know, wow. Talk about your production process, you know, physical, when you said you camped out at your parents' house, how long did it take you to shoot and edit from start to finish?
Yeah, I shot for 3 weeks. 2 weeks leading up to the election day, and then a week of follow-ups.
Right.
I did not prep. It was an impulsive decision to go home.
Wow.
So I showed up, and I knew in the back of my head that my main subject, the Snells, I knew I was going to talk to them, but I had to work up the confidence to go knock on their door. So I really spent my first 2 days driving around, finding sign displays that were maybe larger than ordinary, and just building up the muscle of knocking on the doors and asking if I could interview them, which is a vulnerable thing to do.
Right.
I did the whole thing without any lights. I had a camera. And
So you were your crew.
Yeah, I would have occasionally I would have someone come down from New York, help me kind of shoot it. There were some that I did by myself. But yeah, we didn't set up any lights. We just wanted people to feel comfy in their homes. We had a very short window of time. This wasn't a documentary where I could build trust with someone over like a month or a few months and get them to open up on camera. I had to try to capture them in the most authentic way very quickly, because the film is a time capsule of sorts. We had a deadline. So no lights, just me and a camera and at most 2 other people. And after that we edited it very quickly, because we immediately had a feeling that it's this documentary best serves its purpose when it is accessible and out. So a quick festival premiere and then try to get it online on the anniversary of the election. So it went up publicly online on election day this year. And I'm very happy that it's out in that short timeline, because I think that we've just hit the point of being able to engage with political hindsight in that way.
Yeah. And it is very natural. I mean, like you said, it's not partisan. It's just people. It's just listening, really listening. And I think that's very important these days, that people learn to listen to each other. And I think that you did a really great job
Thank
of
you.
giving voice to have people listen to.
There's this reviewer that wrote that it's most like an inkblot test of your own political views and mindset. And I do really feel that in how each person walks away from the film. No two people have the same reaction, and I feel people's reactions really are a reflection of how they left that election and how they've how their lives have changed, or how they've changed since that election, as policy changes, as our culture changes. And it really is, it's more of an inkblot test. It's more about what do you see in it,
Right.
and how does that affect you?
Exactly. It's really well done that way. So tell us, what can we expect from you going forward, and are we going to see any more inkblot tests, and how can we follow you?
Well, this was my first documentary.
Okay.
So I do hope to make more. I am very interested in continuing to capture Americans as they are, especially within American institutions like the electoral system or schools. I'm very interested in, and school boards, anything with a little bureaucracy to it. I'm very interested in. And so I'm hoping to continue doing that, and I'm hoping to continue that specifically in Pennsylvania. I think that the country focuses a lot on where I'm from, central Pennsylvania, when there's an election, from the outside in. And other than that, once a year where we're on national news, I'd love to show how much of a microcosm we are of the country at whole all the time, not just when there's an election going on.
Right. Wow, that's very cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah.
It's been great to talk with you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.